All right. We are back here at Song of the Day, coming to you from the Rock Cave. I'm your host, Mark Pierce. It is Thursday, Thirsty Thursday. For those of you who are thirsty, it is Thursday. You're welcome for that. Hope you enjoyed a little gunship yesterday. I enjoyed that, and as I said, I could have talked another 5 minutes easy on that band. I really enjoyed learning about them and listening to their music. I hope they have more stuff coming down the pike. So if you didn't get a chance to check that out, go ahead and do that. What have people been talking about this week? They've been talking about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. More inductees this week announced. I've been pretty tepid on this since the very beginning, to be honest. I mean, it just doesn't change my life when they talk about who's in and who's out. And you can go back and forth and debate, and there's plenty of things to talk about. And it's called the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, the Rock Hall. Maybe it should be called something else. I don't know. It doesn't, again, some years I don't even pay attention. Other years I'm interested. This year I'm interested a little bit. I mean, what is interesting is when they do the performances. It's nice to be able to see what kind of artists they gather together to do the songs. That's usually pretty cool. This year, some of the inductees I'm big fans of. Billy Idol, of course, huge fan. You guys know that. Iron Maiden, they're on the list of people complaining about why they hadn't been in. Joy Division, New Order, love that band. Sade, huge fan. And then, Oasis, I never got the Oasis thing. I just didn't. They said they were going to be the next Beatles when they first came out. I just don't, anyway, I don't really know what the criteria is. And then some of the non-rock and roll stuff, Luther Vandross certainly deserving. Wu-Tang Clan, I can't speak enough about that or speak to that one way or the other. But Rick Rubin, that was exciting. I've been meaning to do an episode on Rick Rubin. His work is massive. And so I don't know where to start with that, but I'm sure I'll be doing one on him. You can debate all that stuff all you want. The first thing that came to mind for me, and I know Michael Murray out there said In Excess. For me, Jay Giles. I've been trying to get in for a long time. Lots of other bands, you look at it and you're like, okay, all right, maybe they'll all be in at some point. But who are we landing on today? Well, you already know. You saw the thumbnail. Phil Collins in as a solo artist. The 75-year-old, he just turned 75 in January. The Londoner is in the Rock Hall. So, this is a massive topic, and I cannot cover Phil Collins in a short episode, and I'm not going to make this a 10, 12, 15-minute episode. Maybe I'll just try to hit the highlights for you. But he started playing drums at age 5. I'm trying to think, if I had a 5-year-old that wanted to play drums, that's like giving a 5-year-old a kazoo. No, thank you. But somehow he stuck with it. And eventually, by the 80s came around, through the 80s, he had his hand in more top 40 singles than any artist in all of the 80s. And that's true. If you're my age, you think of the 80s, there was just never a time where Phil Collins wasn't in your life in one way, shape, or form. It's pretty amazing. And you look at him and you're like, he just looks like one of your uncles that you don't really know and put one of your family reunions. Turns out super talented. And then for those of you who don't know his history, here you go. He joined Genesis, the band Genesis, in 1970 as their drummer. They were basically a prog rock band. There had a lot of weird stuff there because Peter Gabriel was their vocalist. They had a lot of theatrical performances, and he was their drummer and percussionist and backing vocalist for 5 years, 70 to 75. Lots of influential works there. Peter Gabriel leaves to go solo, and Phil Collins takes over on vocals, and he brings in Chester Thompson on drums, who played for Frank Zappa and the Mother's Invention, and he would end up playing drums on Genesis records or Phil Collins solo records through 2010. Of course, the record he came out with Genesis, Abacab, all those great hits, No Reply at All, Man on the Corner, Abacab, all that great stuff. And then Genesis, I've done episodes on that. One of my top favorite albums of all time, front to back. Every single song on that one. I can't say enough about that, and I won't. All I got to say is Home by the Sea, second Home by the Sea, Taking It All Too Hard, and Mama. There is a podcast called Hit Parade that you need to listen to. Pull up Hit Parade. It's called the Invisible Miracle Sledgehammer Edition. It's about 90 minutes long. And it talks about how for this time in the 80s, Genesis members, or current or former, basically all had, either with a band or solo, like all had hits on the charts at the same time, like nothing you've ever seen before nor you ever will see again. You're talking Genesis, Peter Gabriel solo, Phil Collins solo, and Mike and the Mechanics. I mean, it's crazy. You have to check this out and see. You listen to it if you listen to music. If you love listening to music, it's a great story. But between Genesis and Phil Collins solo career, there were two albums in 81, 82, 83, 85, 86, 89, 91, 93, 96. And that's why you heard Phil Collins all that time. He was just putting out so much work. He goes solo, and he goes solo and puts out In the Air Tonight, one of the greatest rock songs in the history of music. I Missed Again. He puts out Face Value, No Jacket Required, but Seriously. Those are the ones that take over the 80s. One More Night, Don't Lose My Number, Inside Out. You never hear that one enough. Take Me Home. I could go on and on and on with all these songs. I mean, there's just so many. How am I going to pick a song of the day at 7 minutes? I'm skipping over so much of his work. I also read he's like the largest individual collector of artifacts from the Alamo, and he has all that in London somewhere. Just a little odd fact about him. And his whole thing with the drum machine, he used drum machines. No one liked drum machines, and then he would record over them, and then eventually he figured out the right mix to have the drum machine work, and so many people would do that after him. But there's too many to choose from, so I am going to just pick one, and it's I Don't Care Anymore from Hello, I Must Be Going in 1982. That record turned out 7 singles across the globe, by the way. It's got that drum beat beginning. It's got this organ. It's dark. Goes to number 39. Gets his first Grammy nom for a single. He loses to Michael Jackson's Beat It. But I Don't Care Anymore. He's bitter about a divorce. That's where I landed. That's my song of the day. You tell me, did you see Phil Collins in the 80s? It could have easily been In the Air Tonight. That's the obvious pick. And I've done that a few times here in the cave. And it should be the pick, but it's not today. So tell me your favorite Phil Collins songs, stories, whatever you got. Whatever you're doing today, you're listening to Phil Collins. Cheers to him. Have a good one. And as usual, catch you on the flip side.